Hi everyone and welcome to a new video. In this video I'll do an update on my farming adventure, so we'll take a look at how my farms are doing, which ones I'm pulling out of and which new ones I'm going to enter this week. If you like the sound of that, be sure to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe at the end of the video. As usual, we are starting on Aave, so I have 15k invested on Aave. For me personally, Aave is a pretty safe platform. Of course, there is always smart contract risk and so forth, keep that in mind. I am borrowing against it 7,500 USDT, which of course gives me a very safe and healthy position to be in, because I'm borrowing stablecoin versus stablecoin. When it comes to interest, I am earning 3% on my loan and paying 3.71% on the loan, so that's a difference of 0.71 that I'm paying for this loan. Against it, I'm still earning 2.27% return on the USDC that I'm putting available. On top of that, I'm still getting almost 1% in Matic rewards. So if you add these two up, it's still looking pretty good and it's still better than putting your money in the bank. So what I'm doing with this money, so I still have my original stake in the Qi-Dao and it's performing really well. The price of the Qi token has gone up a lot again. So it was at about $1, now it's back up to $2.33. It's looking very good. So these are the rewards for about 24 hours. I try to collect my rewards on a daily basis and then compound them in different farms. So right now this is about $20. Let's get these Qi tokens. Because this farm is performing so well over the course of a few weeks now, I'm going to reinvest in this pool and I'm going to add some more my Qi liquidity. To do this, I'm going to Quickswap. So I'll convert some of my Matic that I farmed in the past week and turn it into Matic, which is a stable coin. So this is about $50. I am going to adjust my slippage. Put it on 1%, see if that works. Next thing we do is we go to pool, click add liquidity. Next we select the Qi token and the Matic token, click max and supply. Confirm. Once we have our liquidity pair, we go back to Qi-Dao and then we click deposit. Max, confirm. As a personal challenge, I'm going to try and earn back the $7,500 that I've borrowed against my USDC. So for this specific farm, I'm going to try and collect $1,000 in Qi tokens. So I'm going to boost this liquidity pair up to about $2,000, and then I'll continue farming the Qi token as long as it keeps performing the way it has done so far. And I'll try to collect about $1,000 in Qi tokens. Then I'll sell these tokens and put them into Aave to pay back the loan that I took. So at the current price of the Qi token and the current APR, that would take me about 60 days to earn $1,000 in Qi tokens. So yeah, we'll see if that happens. The next one, of course, is the Polycat Finance farm. So right now we have about $18 to harvest and I still have $26 from the past days. So we're going to reinvest these fish tokens and then put them in the farm. I'm also very happy to see that the price of fish is pretty stable around that $15, so that still gives me confidence to reinvest into the fish pool. So we're going to supply all the fish tokens that I have and create a fish Matic pair on Quickswap. Next we go back to Polycat Finance, click on farms and then we click the plus button, max. There you go, so this pool has already grown to $355. Of course, keep in mind these are very high returns, which also means very high risk. Also important to know, this is the compounding result, this 3000. This is not being compounded automatically. This means that you have to do what I'm doing on a daily basis if you want to get close to these rewards. If you don't feel like doing this, then you still get 300% annually, which is definitely a very good return. But again, high return, high risk. So keep a close eye on the price of the fish token and the project itself so that it doesn't dump on you. Next, I've parked some Matic USDC in the Quickswap pool. I'm leaving it in here for a while until I find a farm that I enjoy more. I'm not putting it in Qi-Dao or in the Polycat Finance pool because I like to spread out my risk. That's why I put some of my Matic USDC tokens into this one. The other farm that we're doing is the bone farm. As you can see, we have $3 in 24 hours. Of course, we haven't invested that much into this farm. So right now we have invested in the Matic USDC pool, which gives us about 100% APR. So if you compound that on a daily basis, the number of course will be a lot higher. So right now we have about $3 here. I was planning to reinvest it into this pool, but on the other hand, that is pretty risky. Usually farm tokens go to zero. So I'm going to change my strategy here and pull out his 37 cents and just sell my bone tokens. Next thing we do is go to Rugdoc and see if there are any big updates on the farms that we're using. Of course, it's always interesting to go to the social channels, go to Telegram and so forth, and keep an eye on the Twitter of all the farms that you are involved in. And of course, keep an eye on a daily basis on the Rugdoc website as well, because they do have important updates on all the farms that they review. So let's see what we can find and see if we can find a better destination for the Matic USDC pair that we have on Quickswap. So we select Polygon, low risk, and these are the new ones. So Polypulsar, it has a lot of game elements in there and it's pretty complex and I don't feel like figuring it out, so this is a no for me. Astro Bunny, 100% deposit fee possible and no time lock, I don't like this. Polymocha, referral bonus, I don't care. Max deposit fee 10%, it's okay. No time lock, that's a maybe for me. Dojo farm, so transfer tax max 10%, anti-whale, that's good. Liquidity sent to burn address using Quickswap, max deposit fee 4% and a time lock, so this is looking interesting. Then we have Polyurn, 100% deposit fee is just a no for me, so not this one. Good, so let's take a look at Dojo farm. More info. So looking at the details, we see that this is a Panther fork. I also want to note that it might be an interesting strategy to try and mix the different forks, meaning if there's a problem with the Panther protocol and there are some vulnerabilities in there in the smart contract, then of course automatically all the forks have the same vulnerabilities in there. So if you want to protect yourself against this, try to take farms from different forks. Either way, this is a Panther fork. This is looking all pretty good. When it comes to the time lock, I recommend you reading this information, but basically if they want to do major changes to the contract, then there is a time lock and it takes 8 hours for the change to take place. This is kind of a protection against rug pulls. Of course, if you don't keep a close eye on the social media and so forth, and you don't check it every 8 hours, then it is possible that the time lock is useless for you. So a time lock is important if you keep a close eye on the projects. Otherwise, you won't even notice that you're being rug pulled, and then this time lock has no use. So again, take a look at the Rugdoc website, click on time lock, and then you'll find all the information about this. Then this is something I don't like. So the project is doing a stealth launch and does not want to make public their mastership contract yet. So I'm not going to dive into the Dojo farm until they made the address public. So I'm going to wait for an update on this project. What else can we do? We can take a look at existing farms that are already audited, which is another level of safety. Then we see, of course, Polycat, that we know already. Then we have Gemstone Finance, Apple Finance, Polysnow, and so forth. WorldSwap is already finished, so no use at taking a look at this one. Let's take a look at the first one, Gemstone Finance, max 10%. I don't care about referral. We have anti-whale and uses sushi for swaps. Also a Panther fork. So let's take a look at what this is about. So they have a Certic audit. That's definitely good. Take a look at the website. We see almost 1 million in value locked. The token value is pretty low. Let's take a look at how that token has performed. I have a link to Dex Guru. So let's take a look at the token price. We of course saw a big run up in the beginning and then it kind of flatlined, so I think it's more interesting to look more in depth. Personally, I think it is interesting to take a look at the value of the token and the total value locked in a project to see if the project is still alive. I can imagine that when a token price is going too low that people lose interest, and then you might have a soft rug when the developers also lose interest in the project. So a declining price like this might be something to keep an eye out for. However, when we take a look at the socials of Gemstone Finance, we see still 2,000 followers, some good interaction on their posts, and we see that they actually have a roadmap. So maybe if you dive into this project a little bit more, you might consider that it's worth the risk, even though the token price has declined so much. So let's just assume that this is a maybe. Let's take a look at the mines or the farms. And we see that our Matic USDC has an APR of 300%, and that is definitely sounding interesting. So the good things are, this project has been around for more than a few days. They still have almost 1 million locked in value. They do have a roadmap coming up. They do have some interaction on their socials. The bad thing is that their price of the token has gone down significantly. It has stabilized a little bit, I think, in the past weeks. So I am going to take a gamble on this one, and I'm going to stake some of my tokens into this pool right here. So I'm going to take half of my Matic USDC tokens that I have locked up in Quickswap, and I'm going to put them in the Gemstones project. So right now I have about $400 invested with an APR of 309%. That is a little less than 1% a day. So that means to get my 4% deposit fee back, I would have to leave my tokens in here at least 4 days or a little bit more. So please do keep in mind, usually all these farms, they have a deposit fee, and sometimes they even have a fee when you want to take your tokens back out. So you have to calculate in these fees in order to calculate your profits. Alright, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to post a comment. And again, if you have an interesting farm, be sure to mention that in the comments. If you're interested in Helium updates, be sure to keep an eye on the channel in the upcoming days, because I will be posting an interview that I had with Helium about the validator update. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.